Hey folks, John with Complete Technology Solutions, your friend in the computer business. Guys, I have got a couple of really cool ones for you today, and I want to get right to it. This was a fun one. Here we go. First off, guys, I want to let you guys know, if you didn't see the SHOT Show coverage I did, and I'm going to throw a link up here for you. One of the people that we ran into out there was SplatterPro Targets, and they're the ones that actually make those really cool targets that make the little splat when you hit them. Well, these guys sent out this entire box out here to me, guys, and they kind of wanted to become the official target of the channel. So, you know what? We're going to do that for them. We're going to make their targets now the official target of our channel, and let's see what they gave us here. Supposedly, this is a collection of different kinds, and I have no idea what is in this box. Let's find out together. All right, so we've got some of the, oh guys, these are the really nice ones. Okay, so we've got a couple different assortments here, guys, and I'm going to show Stumpy this here. So you've got the standard targets. These are the ones that actually will splatter when you hit, so it makes a little green splat. Then you've got some smaller targets. Now, you got to have good eyes to hit this from 30 feet away, right? But we're going to see if we can do it. We're going to give it a shot. We got one of the little guys with the shooter things. I like that one. And this is a regular standard target. Now, guys, this is the kind of target normally you would see if you were just practicing out in the field. This is the one that we're probably going to use a lot, quite a bit, actually. So it looks like each one of these, by the way, has stack in there. I have no idea how many it doesn't say on there. But SplatterPro Targets. All right, so we got some more of these. And we got some of the bigger ones here. That's pretty cool. Man, they gave us targets for life, guys. This is crazy. And, oh, now that's interesting. Oh, I saw a cool one. All right, so let's get to the bottom here. So these are the same ones again, but this one looks like it's got little squares instead of the circles. And I'll show Stumpy there. That's actually kind of cool. And then we've got another one. It looks like different colors. So you've got the green and you've got the white. I like that outline. These are the ones I love, guys, and I know you've probably seen these. The zombies. Check this thing out. So now we're going to be able to actually practice with all of our non-lethals on a zombie, because we all know that non-lethal self-defense works best on a zombie. Yeah. Well, guys, these are really cool. I want to thank the guys over at SplatterPro Targets. Guys, I'm going to throw a link down there in the description. These guys are incredibly reasonable. I'm not even joking about that. But we will be using them, including today, on all future videos that we're actually shooting stuff, unless we're blasting Scully. And you guys know that you saw me printing them. I actually have 2 of them for some upcoming tests. You're going to love that. All right, guys, but here's why we are here. Our friends over at Mercury Rise. Now, you guys saw the review I did on the Mercury Rise MUB50. And if you didn't, I'm going to throw a link up here in the description for you. Now, what's cool about this gun is these are the manufacturers for the people like Lancer Tactical. So basically, you're able to buy the same gun, fully adjustable out of the box, but directly from the manufacturer, which cuts a little bit of cost down on you. But this is their brand new product, guys. This is the Mercury Rise MUB50 caliber. I haven't even looked at this. I'm going to look at it with you. I am so excited. It's heavier. I mean, it really is. Let's take a look. So let's crack this thing open. Ooh, right off the bat. Don't you peek in there. Hold on just a minute. So Mercury Rise, thank you for your order. By the way, guys, that's true. You know, and I want people to understand that about this channel. I buy everything that I demo on this channel with my own money. Nothing that comes in here is like here, let me give you some stuff and you promote it no matter what it is. You guys know with me, if I do a review, you're going to get the fleas with the dog. Now, this was a little different because he wanted me to have some targets, and I think these are just really cool. As well as we have a couple of videos where people are sending stuff in from SHOT Show. I got one right there that's the next video you guys are going to get a kick out of. So, but all right. So just to let you know. All right. So you get this is an Allen key, and this is to adjust the velocity on the back of the weapon, which is actually really cool. We'll get into that here shortly. And a little sneak peek of what it looks like. You get looks like a fold out flyer. Guys, there is nothing to these things. They are so simple to operate, which is one of the advantages. All right, so cracking it open. Check it out, guys. All right, look. I love that color scheme. I don't know what it is about it. It looks cool to me. I don't even know what color that is. It's like brown, but kind of almost an olive drab, more or less. It's really cool. But as you can see, it comes with the weapon itself, along with practice pepper balls, and you get some of the practice rubber rounds. Now, guys, all right, I'm going to give you a little advice. The practice rubber rounds that you get with these MUB43s, okay, honestly, don't use them. And I'll tell you why. They're very gummy, and I've actually had these gum up weapons that have never gummed up on any other ammo, so take those and pitch them. Don't even use those right off the bat. The practice pepper balls are fine. All right, so check out the weapon. All right, first off, it's got some weight to it, guys. It's very front heavy up here. I'd say that probably weighs pretty close to a little bit lighter than an HTP50, and we can compare them side by side. Watch. So, guys, here's our HTP50, our tried, our true, our solid, the one we know. Let's compare them side by side, and guys, if you look at these, they are very, very close in size. So we'll put them directly side by side, and you can see that the barrel on the MUB50 is actually a little bit longer than the HTP50. There's a reason for that, and I'll show you what it is here in just a second. As far as the grip, I'm not going to lie, I like the grip on the HTP50 better. This feels, it's real smooth. I mean, it looks like it does have some contouring and some texture in here, but it's pretty smooth. As far as the weapon itself, you can see that the length and the dimensions of it are pretty darn close to the HTP50, though. They're really close as far as width goes. Now, there are going to be a couple of things about this you're going to want to know. First off, CO2 goes into the bottom just like on the MUB43. This is a pressure release valve, so you can actually release the CO2 pressure without having to fire out all the rounds. Also, CO2 cartridge goes in, nozzle down, one pop, that punctures the CO2. Now, the loading mechanism on this, guys, if you watched the video on the MUB43, this is one of the weirdest loading mechanisms I've ever seen, and I'm going to show you why. So, you have to have the weapon on safety. It's a standard push-through safety button here, okay? Put the weapon on safety. On the right-hand side of the weapon, you've got a small button just above the trigger guard. Push the button, and out the front slides the magazine. Okay, all right. It's an interesting loading mechanism. I kind of dig it because it's very unique. It would make carrying a lot of these relatively practical. You would have to, in a combat situation, be able to pop it out, grab another one, slide it in, and then continue firing. So I kind of like it. It's weird, though. It's very, very strange. But popping it out one more time for you, this is where you load in your rounds. Now, this actually holds, I believe, 7 rounds in that magazine. We're going to test this right now. I want to go out here and I want to see what kind of velocity we're going to get out of it. But before we do, I want to let you know, if you look at the back, you've got a little screw hole right there. That screw hole allows you to adjust the velocity on the weapon. So think of it like opening and closing a valve. If you screw it to the left to open the valve, you're getting more pressure. Back to the right is going to take it down. We're going to put this at maximum pressure right off the bat, which is supposed to be in that 370 to 400 range. So let's take our little Allen key and poke the Allen key in there. And we're going to take it back. We're going to go, oh, that was all. That actually, okay, guys, that's good to know. Default, it's maxed out. So right now, out of the box, it is all the way open. So that means that unless you want to dial it down, you're going to be full power right out of the box. At least this one was. So we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and let's load up some rounds here. Got our magazine here. Oh, okay, I got to do it one more time because I just kind of find this mechanism really neat. Watch, here we go. That's so cool. All right, let's go ahead and load them in. Now, tell you what we're going to test with today. Instead of using their junker rounds, I'm going to use some of the T4E. These are the regular 50 caliber rubber rounds. These are not the steel infused, although I do have some of those right here. So we might actually test those two here in just a second. All right, so let's go ahead and taking the ball, pushing it down. And as you can see, the detent automatically holds them in place. By the way, guys, as I'm loading this, that's a huge advantage. On the MUB43, out of the box, the magazines had a really bad detent in them, and it would cause it to jam. So they would tell you that if you bought the weapon, and this was on the video, to automatically email them, and they would send you out a new magazine to take care of that problem. And it did take care of the problem. That was what was kind of cool. So 3, 6, and let's see if it'll hold a 7th. I'm not sure if it will or not. No, it looks like actually it's going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like 6. I don't think we're going to get anything else out of that. I'm going to pull that back and see. There is a, yeah, see, there's not enough room for a 7th one there. So if you put a 7th one in, you might like jam it in there. You don't want to do that. So we're going to go with 6. I like that. And you know what? That's fine, because that's what this one fires. I'm cool with that. So let's go ahead and we're going to slide. You see what I did? Instinctively, right? You got to get into that whole frame of mind, I'll tell you. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and slide in our magazine right there. Click it into place. We're going to unscrew the bottom. We're going to get our gun oil, and we're going to get a 12-gram CO2 cartridge. And we're going to place a drop of our oil. Now, okay, I want to address one thing that people have been asking about this. So, just like on the HTP50, a lot of people are asking, do we really have to have the oil on the nozzle, since the valve on this one is actually contained in the weapon and it's not actually holding pressure right here? My answer to that is there is a small rubber seal in there. You're not going to hurt anything by putting a little bit of oil on it. So for me, it's a force of habit, and I like to get into that habit. So just a quick drop on there. It's not like it costs a lot, not like it's a difficult thing to do. And drop it in there and screw this down. Now, granted, the seal on the back of this is actually an O-ring, and it's the exact same thing on the back of the HTP50. So, all right, guys, so at this point, we're ready to roll. Tell you what we're going to do. Let's move out to the range out here and hang up one of our cool targets, and we'll get some chrono readings on this and see what we're doing. Be right back. All right, guys, so here we are set up on the range again. You can see we have a zombie target down there. Now, I am not actually going to try to hit the zombie target right now. All I am curious about is getting a couple of chrono readings for us. So I'm going to move this over to the side a little bit. That way I'm not firing right behind the camera. And let's see if we can actually get a couple of readings on this. So, all right, we're going to put on our groovy glasses. These are still the burner glasses. I'm going to get some like safety glasses that say that. I think it's kind of cool. So anybody else out there makes these, let me know. I'll put them on. So, all right, here we go. We're going to charge the weapon. All right, you heard that click. That means we are charged and ready. Okay, I'm going to move back into position here and put the weapon on fire. Actually, you know what? I'm going to turn the chrono just a bit, guys, because that is a little bit, there we go. Now we're actually looking. Hopefully, yeah, you guys can see it. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get any kind of reading out of this at all. I'm shooting low, so we're not aiming for the zombie right now. 412. 404. Error. 394. 391. 387, and we're out. Guys, that's as advertised. That is actually as advertised. I'm amazed. You know, they always kind of pump these ads up a little bit, but that is exactly what they said you were going to get out of it. You saw it yourself. So we're getting anywhere in that high 3 to low 4s right out of the box, and it was dialed up automatically. So that means, and by the way, it was max, so you couldn't go any higher than that, but what you see is what you get. That's actually a really nice weapon out of the box. All right, I tell you what, now let's see how accurate it is. Now, this is what I'm really curious about. I'm going to get this out of the way. We're going to clean it up here a little bit. I'm going to get a fresh cartridge in, so we're testing clean. We're going to use the exact same rubber balls. We're not going to use the steel because I want to see if we're getting some accuracy, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so here we are again. I got a fresh CO2 in here. And as you can see, I've got 6 more rounds loaded in and ready to go. So I did it again. You see, it'd take a long time to get out of that habit of putting the magazine in the bottom. But, you know, what are we going to say? Now, one thing I will tell you, if you've got the weapon charged and you are reloading these, guys, okay, gun etiquette 101, don't touch the trigger till you're ready to fire. But at the end of the day, if you were in a situation and you weren't practiced with this, I could see how somebody could like go up real quick to put the new magazine in and then fire it. And I mean, granted, it unless the magazine was seated, it's not going to send out a round, but that's a whole lot of pressure coming out. That could be a problem. So make sure that you're being gun conscious, man. You're being trigger safe with this thing at all times, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in our next magazine. There we go. And I'm going to stand back here in the back. You know what? Can you guys, let me see if you guys can actually see that target real well. I'm going to try to, tell you what, I'm going to move you up here, guys. I'm going to stand in the same position, but I'm going to move you up on the target. There we go. And I'm going to aim for, these are all face shots. So I'm backing up again. All right. Right now, just to let you know what, let me show you what I'm doing here, guys. I'm going to turn you around. So we're being truth in everything here. So I'm going to be standing right here. This is the exact same area we normally are. So you're talking about 25 feet on average, okay? So I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. All right, so let me turn you back around here. And there we go. And hopefully you got a good view of his face, because that's what we're going for. All right, here we go. Weapon is charged and firing. After I put it on fire. And out. Yeah, that was from 25 feet. Now, guys, where I was aiming, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're doing here, where I was aiming was right here. I was aiming dead center. So as you can see out of the box, you're firing a little bit, but look at the consistency on all 6 rounds, right in the same spot. Out of the box. That's pretty darn accurate. Now, these sights are not adjustable as such. So to that effect, you are going to have to use a little bit of Kentucky windage, but that's okay. You can see how accurate it was at that range. So, normally what I would do is I would start aiming down. You know what? Heck with it. Let's do it. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so let's do it again. We got 6 rounds, but I'm going to keep the same CO2 in here this time. I'm going to have to get used to that. I can tell you that now. Here we go. We're going to load in the next rounds. There we go. And I'm going to back up again. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim a little bit to the low. I'm going to aim kind of like at his lower right chin. Let's see what this does. Here we go. Putting her on fire. There it is. There it is. There it is, guys. That's what we're talking. So I was aiming right there. So once again, Kentucky windage, and it works every time. Let's go back in here and talk about this thing. Here we go. Guys, what can you say when a product performs? Actually, I'm going to go on a limb, guys. I didn't know what to think about this. When I first started testing these, or testing this one, and I picked it up, and you remember at the beginning there, yeah, it felt light. It just did. But at the end of the day, never judge a book by the cover. I can tell you that much. I've learned that with this weapon and with this company. This is, in my opinion, and once again, that's what this is all about, out of the box. So if you just pull this out of the box and it's at the velocity it's currently at, better than an HTP50 out of the box. They are a little more expensive, not a lot, but a little more expensive. However, they fire harder than a stock HTP50 until, of course, you mod it and this becomes a cannon. But out of the box, it's a better weapon for velocity, and you saw how accurate it was. I mean, the thing is dead on. So I have no complaints about that at all. The loading mechanism is going to take me some getting used to, because you have to have it on safe to eject the magazine. See that? You have to have it on safe in order to do that. If you don't have it on safe, what happens is, and I'm going to show you this, if you have this on fire and you try to eject it, nothing. Right? So you got to put it back on safe, and then it comes out. So that safety actually stops the engaging, or I guess I should say the disengaging of the mechanism that holds this in place. So make sure you're on safety before you hit that little button, then it'll kick out properly. So not a big deal. Incidentally, if you don't, and this is something they did show me too, if you screw up on this thing and you have a round in here and you hit this while you're on fire and the detent kind of forces a ball up there, it jams the magazine. That is what this little plastic thing is for. If you make that mistake, all you have to do through the top of the gun is push down, and that'll push the ball back into the detent. And then you'll be able to eject it. So that's kind of a fail-safe in an oopsie moment. But in all honesty, guys, you're not going to have that problem. You're either going to be on fire or you're going to be unsafe at all times. You're going to have the thing loaded and ready to go, and you're going to be on fire because obviously the magazine's loaded, the CO2 is in there, and then when you're ready, you pick it up, pop, and fire, 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 fire. So we talked about that in self-defense. Your first 6 rounds are really where it counts. I'd say the first 3 rounds. So practice, 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 right? We go back to that. Guys, this is awesome. I am so glad this was good. I was so worried that it wasn't going to be, but this is just, I can't get over how awesome this is. So thank you guys so much for watching. I just got an email back from Berna. They responded. We should have some new stuff in here. You guys have been screaming about wanting to get the LE in. I can tell you that the LE is on back order right now. They sold so many of them, they can't even keep up with it. Also, the new one that was a PE, the one that eliminated the safety, that one's supposed to be coming in, and I'm looking to try to get the TCR and maybe the Mission in here. I don't know what they're going to do, but if they can, we'll get them in here on the show. You know the drill. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic week, and I have more videos dropping this week. It's going to be a good one. Bye-bye.